Weather up there?
Terrible, Mike.
Terrible up there, Mike. Okay, that answers that. You're on with Mary Michele. Hopefully she'll make your day a little bit brighter.
I hope so.
Good morning, Donna.
Morning, Mary.
Did you have a particular question?
No, not in particular.
Okay. You were born with the sun in Virgo and the 16th, the moon in Virgo. So you were born at the new moon. This gives tremendous focus. Mercury in Libra, Venus in Virgo. There's a lot of Virgo planets here. Uranus in Virgo, Pluto in Virgo. Are you an analyst of some sort?
No, not at all.
No? Do you work with computers?
No, actually bookkeeping.
Bookkeeping. Details. Virgo, I know you know about the sun sign Virgo. The sun sign Virgo is very much about details, but when you have all these other planets in Virgo, it means that there's that additional focus on details. Is this something that you like, or would you like to get away from it?
No, I like it very much.
Good. I think details can be a kind of meditation, a repetition. The way that we go over and over and over the same thing can be very soothing, I think, to the psyche. So it's a good thing for you to do, as long as you enjoy it.
Yes, I do think.
Okay. Was there something in particular? Let's see. Venus in Virgo, Mars in Scorpio. You have good energy. The planet of energy, Mars in the sign of Scorpio. You're good at getting to the roots of things. Are you married?
Yes.
What sign is your husband?
Libra.
What?
Libra.
Libra. Okay. Well, that works well with your Mercury. You have a good connection of the mind. You have Mercury in Libra. So you probably have an ability to look at the artistic things in life, look at beauty well together. Do you have children?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. The child is about creation, the nature of creation, and Venus is about, that must be a very strong point between the two of you. I know that's kind of a generality, but I think this child is, or how many do you have? Two.
Boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl. I would say that over and over again, these are the things that bring your family, your relationship with your husband. This is how you work well together. I'm sure there are other areas, but the kids particularly.
I had a question in particular.
Uh-huh.
We just moved to the Mayapack area in October,
Uh-huh.
and we really haven't had much luck since we moved here, between deaths in the family, car accidents, and just problems with the home itself.
Are you looking to move?
Excuse me?
Are you looking to move, change locations?
October.
You moved in October, I understand that, but are you, the house that you're in, do you have to get out of it?
No, not at all. We just moved in October of 95.
Okay. Are you looking to do any kind of work on the house?
Well, it's almost complete.
It is. Because the nature of all these planets in Virgo is that the planet Jupiter is transiting the sign of Capricorn, so you've got lots of luck in terms of finances, enjoying life more. Perhaps it might not come together for you until the fall. Jupiter will probably be more, conjunct those planets in Virgo, but it's going to get better.
The fall of 96.
Fall of 96.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Thanks for calling. All right, we've got 4 callers on the line. Good time if you have any questions for Mary Michele. Get in now. We do have one open line and one open line only. Let's talk to Helen. Helen's date of birth is April 5th, 1931. She's calling from Pleasantville. Good morning, Helen. You're on with Mary Michele.
Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Helen. Did you have a particular question?
Well, I haven't had too many years of good luck, and I was just wondering what I can look forward to.
Okay. 4/5/31. Sun in Aries, Moon in Scorpio. The Moon in Scorpio, the planet Pluto has been going through the sign of Scorpio. It shifted in November. Was there something on the more optimistic note that happened in November for you?
No, not really.
No? Around Thanksgiving you didn't have any?
Been on the market for a while, and there seems to be nothing in the future, so I'm looking to move.
You're looking to move?
Yeah, I can sell my house.
Okay. Well, you have Mars and Leo, so right now you have more energy to do something about it. Uranus and Aries. This month is a good time to take initiative in terms of how you would want to sell the house. This is the main preoccupation, right?
Right.
I think you have to find new ways to do it. If you can instigate things yourself. Aries is a sign that has to do it themselves, so it's hard for you to get other people necessarily always to do it for you. So, I don't know exactly how you could do it. If you could post a message, in the local, someplace that you feel there would be a lot of traffic that people might want to come and look at your house, for you to initiate some of the activity yourself, it would be a good idea.
Okay.
I'm sorry I have to go. I've got lots of other calls, but if you could call back, we could talk about it further.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for calling. And by the way, you're going to be here Monday also, am I correct?
Right.
Okay. Let's get to the next caller. This is Joanne on line 4. Joanne is calling from Somers, July 4th, 1951. 7/4/51. Happy Independence Day and all that good stuff. You're on with Mary Michele.
Hi, Mary.
Hi there. How are you?
Good.
Did you have a particular question?
I do. I went back to college to get my nursing degree, and I came down with Lyme's disease.
Oh. Well, I guess you went into the right business.
Well, I don't know about that. But what I really am trying to figure out now is
Is what?
trying to figure out which direction I should go in. Should I stay? I'm very creative. I like the law a lot. I was thinking kind of integrating the medical and the law. I wasn't sure, exactly how long it will take me to do that, but I really am looking for a career direction at this point.
You have a lot of planets in Cancer. You have the Sun in Cancer, the Moon in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, Mars in Cancer, Uranus in Cancer. Cancer is a sign that likes to take care of people. It's not that your intellectual side, the law, one tends to think of the law as being, more of a warrior kind of thing. So I think that with all these planets in Cancer, what you want to do is nurture, and I think nursing is a good thing, or anything to do with food. If you would want to help feed people, that would be a very good thing.
Right.
I would stick to that versus the law. The law is a certain kind of warrior spirit that I think you have a bit. You have Jupiter in Aries, but really the Mars in your chart in Cancer is not. It's not so much about going to battle, going and being, someone that, like Spartacus or something, which is always the way I think of lawyers. So I think that yours is more about taking care of and nurturing.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that the nursing is a good idea. I have to go. Could you call back? We'll talk about it some more.
Bye.
Okay, thanks,
Okay,
bye.
thank you for calling. Dennis is holding on line 5. Dennis is from Somers. Date of birth is November 7th, 1949. Dennis, good morning. You're on with Mary Michele.
Morning, Mike. It's nice to see you early in the morning, especially 6 o'clock.
Oh. Why are you up at that hour is the first question from Mary Michele. Good morning, Dennis. You're on with Mary Michele.
I can
Hey,
tell
Mary, how are you?
I can tell you why. He's a Scorpio. He's a hard worker. He's
Oh,
got
he's a Scorpio? Is he a Scorpio?
11/7/49.
No, I'm a Scorpio.
Yes.
I thought you...
No, he's a Cancer.
No, I'm July 5th.
He's
Okay. Mary, I was wondering how things would be going with my family. I called you a few days ago about my luck, so I was just wondering about my family, things around my family.
okay. 11.
Smile when you're talking about Scorpios, Mary, please.
I'm sorry?
Smile a little bit when you talk about Scorpios.
I like Scorpios. I do. They're just very intense, the nature of focus, and lots of times it can be a little uncomfortable.
Yes, yes.
But it's okay. I think it's a good thing. We all need to be shook up.
Mm-hmm.
And Scorpios are definitely good at it. In terms of your family, the 11/7. Okay, Moon in Gemini, Mercury in Scorpio. The Moon really, is how you deal with women in general. It's how you perceive your mother. Usually, I know psychology always says that men look for women that have a little bit of their mother in them. And this is not a bad thing. I think today psychology tries to tell us that, stay away from that. But it's human, it's normal, it's natural. You just have to find the right balance for it. So with the Moon in Gemini, you have a tendency to see women as being very ambidextrous. You know, they kind of change a lot. It's like you like variety. There must have been something in your mother that she either intellectually or physically or in some way could change. She would change herself, and it made for lots of stimulation and fun. But sometimes perhaps the feelings would get, there wouldn't be enough time for them. Gemini is about things that move too fast. So the way that you relate to women sometimes is that you want them to have this kind of diversity.
Okay.
Now, this is something to work with. It's fun. You know, you can have fun with it.
Okay, very good. Thank you,
Thanks.
Mary. I'll call you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Thank you, Dennis. Somebody's up at that hour. It's 9:45 at WVIP. We still have a winter weather advisory in effect. We're going to get back to the phones and back to Mary Michele in just about 30 seconds. Snow, 3 to 6 inches of accumulation by the time it ends, hopefully about noontime, and then maybe changing over to some rain before ending later today, slow clearing tonight. 33 outside at the moment. We'll be back with Mary Michele in a half minute.
Well, thank goodness it's Friday, and for those of you who worked all week long dealing with whining, complaining, sniveling little brats, or if you have kids, them too, Teddy's Nightclub at the Holiday Inn Mount Kisco has your sanity waiting. Come on, loosen up that tie. Take off those high heels, because it's a giant TGIF happy hour party from 4 till 8 tonight. Friday night, with an all-you-can-eat hot and cold buffet. So back up the computer early and head straight to Teddy's Nightclub after work. Teddy's Nightclub at the Holiday Inn Mount Kisco, exit 37 off the Sawmill River Parkway. Teddy's Nightclub at the Holiday Inn Mount Kisco.
All right, let's get back to the phones now with Mary Michele taking your calls on astrology. Susan, good morning. You're calling for your son. His date of birth is March 21st, 1971. Susan's calling from Mount Kisco. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike. And my son is 3 years older than yours, right?
I would guess that's right. You called the other day.
Yes, and Mary Michele asked me to call back.
Okay. You have to remind me a little of what we were talking about.
You said my son was a hard worker.
Yes.
I told you he wasn't really happy with what he was doing right now.
Okay, 3/21/71. That's his birthday, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did I talk to you about the fact that you are being helpful to him?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. The moon in Capricorn. He has the moon in Capricorn. He worries tremendously about money.
It does?
Yeah. It's very, the material world is something that he really would like to have a firmer grasp on. And having the sun in Pisces, it's difficult for him because Pisces is really kind of a spiritual sign. It's not about the material world. If you think about water, water has no boundaries. Water goes everywhere. It's very compassionate, caring, and gets along with a lot of people. Capricorn is about structure. He has the moon in Capricorn. So you, in a way, help him with this structure and this idea of learning how to make money, but it's very difficult for him. It takes him a long time to figure out how to create those structures, and it has been for the last 5 years. Ever since the Berlin Wall came down. But he's rebuilding now, and as of, the beginning of April, the first week in April, he's going to have a lot more energy. So I think the main thing that you can do for him is just encourage him. Because he trusts you. He knows that you're very solid and that you're always there. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you for calling. And they call her Mary from Katona, July 29th, 1962. Mary, you're on with Mary Michele. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm going to be finishing 2 years at WBI, Westchester Business Institute in White Plains.
Uh-huh.
Well, and I graduate in May, and they've got a placement program, so I'm feeling pretty confident about that. But I also was just introduced to a home business for be an entrepreneur.
Right.
And I know those things always take quite a few years to get off the ground. And so I am a little bit going back and forth. Should I, go out and get a job and do this on the side, or should I put all my energy into doing this entrepreneur job? And I'm just, going back and forth because, I...
Can you just remind me what the job was from the school that you've just finished? What is the line of work?
A computerized office manager.
Okay, and the other thing that you're interested in is food. No, what did you say was the other thing that you wanted to do out of the home?
It's entrepreneurial, starting your own business out of the home.
What kind of business, though?
Oh, it's a telecommunications business.
So, in general, the whole thing is communications, both at the workplace and at home.
Right.
Right. I don't see that as being, I think the concentration, as you say, for the time being should be where you know the money's coming in. Eventually, I think that you have the moon in Cancer, you have the sun in Leo, you have the moon in Cancer. The moon in Cancer is about being very comfortable working out of your home. So I think that you're going to be able to do that, but I think it's probably good to go to the office place first so that you can set up the structure to know how to work out of your home.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that that's probably what you need to do. You do like being with people, the sun in Leo, Mercury in Leo. You like being, a lot outside and with a lot of people, and one always has to honor that. So even if you work out of the home, which will give you a comfort level, you have to find some way, eventually I'm saying, you have to find some way to, do you have children?
2 girls.
Okay, that through the children then. You'll be able to get into the outside world. Okay, is that...
Yes,
okay, thanks so much for calling.
Okay, thank you for calling. 9 minutes before the hour, still snowing outside. Time now for a look at the weather again. Snow 3 to 6 inches, and we could have snow coming till about noontime today. Deborah's been waiting very patiently on line 1. Date of birth is March 25th, 1956. She's calling from Katona. Good morning. You're on with Mary Michele.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, well, thanks for calling. Did you have a particular question?
I really wanted a general reading and just some reference possibly to relationships and any kind of changes regarding home.
Okay, you have the sun in Aries, as I'm sure you know. You have the moon in Virgo, Mercury in Pisces, Venus in Taurus, Mars in Capricorn. You're a hard worker, whether it's at your place of work or whether it's the relationship that you're working on. Is there a particular relationship right now?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, you know how to organize your time to spend time with the person, and you enjoy the work of the relationship. It's not thinking of it as being drudgery. You're pretty good at it. With the sun in Aries, you want to initiate activity all of the time, and sometimes the natural male principle is that they like to do it. So, you might want to curb that a little bit, but I'm sure that you realize that. With the moon in Virgo, it's a very good time for you over the next year through the fall in terms of your emotional life. You can learn to balance your emotional life. The moon in Virgo normally kind of physicalizes any emotional distress. Usually it goes directly to the stomach. But you, with Jupiter in Capricorn all this year and Mars in Capricorn, you're being able to use your channeling of work well, both in the workplace and your relationships, and it's also helping the moon, your area of relationships. Is that helpful? Was there something in particular?
Yes, very much so. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for calling, and happy birthday to you 4 days late. I know. I forgot to sing happy birthday. I'm sorry. All right.
You're a good singer. Go for it.
Mariah Carey didn't call me to book me, so I guess I'm not. 6:30 before the hour. Sue is on the phone today. Sue also calling from Katona. Her daughter's birthday is today. It is March 29th. Her daughter was born in 1975. Sue, good morning. You're on with Mary Michele.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sue.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine.
Happy birthday to her.
Yes, I'm going to call her in an hour, so I thought I'd give her update on her horoscope today, too.
Okay. 3/29/75, right?
Right.
Okay, she's got the sun in Aries. She has the moon in Scorpio. She had a shift around Thanksgiving. Things had not been too easy. Is this your daughter or your granddaughter?
Oh, my daughter.
Your daughter. She probably is feeling better about you.
Okay.
And this started around November. It probably before that was not too good. There probably was a lot of she just couldn't resolve the issues, the mother-daughter ones that seem to be pretty basic to all of us. But she's feeling better about it.
I think so.
Yeah. Mercury in Pisces, Venus in Taurus. Good money this year. It's a good time for her to make money. It's also a good time for her to go out and and find, if she's not involved with someone, she's going to have luck in that area. She's going to look pretty. It's a year that she's going to spend a lot of time and take the time. She should take the time to look good. Is that helpful?
Yes, it's a growing year for her then.
Right, it is.
Yeah, let the kid pay for tuition now also. That's even a better idea. All right, we got time for 2 more calls. Next is Kathy. Kathy is calling from Somers. Date of birth is February 11th, 1958. 2/11/58. Kathy, you're on with Mary Michele.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Okay.
Did you have a particular question?
I was just wondering generally how my year was going to...
Okay, 2/11. Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Cancer, Mercury in Capricorn, Venus in Aquarius. Are you involved? Are you presently involved with someone?
No.
No. Did you meet somebody in January?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. It hasn't worked out?
Just, I guess, friends or something. We haven't gone any further. I'm just getting through a divorce.
Okay. Well, I think that, the person that you met in January gave you kind of a new lease on life, so to speak. You have the Sun in Aquarius. You have a Sun-Venus conjunction. There's probably something very attractive about you in an unusual way. And this person was, you're going to get a lot of that throughout the next probably 10 years. Uranus, the ruler, the planet that rules Aquarius, went into its own sign in January. So you're bringing in new people. Now, the nature of Aquarius is that it's always a little unusual. You might like things that are a little quirky or people that are a little quirky. But I think that you ought to pursue a little further this person that you met in January, and perhaps he can be helpful. I have to go.
Okay, final caller this morning is Merle, calling from Yorktown. Date of birth is May 14th, 1943. 5/14/43. Merle, good morning. You're on with Mary Michele.
Hi, good morning. Basically, I'm interested in what you see as my financial outlook for this year.
Okay, you have the Sun in Taurus, you have the Moon in Virgo. This is harmonious. They're both earth signs. You're very, very practical. Sometimes it might, the Moon in Virgo, one tends to physicalize it in the stomach. You worry about money. But this year, in general, starting in January, and, the strongest...
And welcome to Meet the VIPs. And, of course, today being Monday, it is time for our favorite of favorites. Mary Michele is here, ready to take your calls on astrology at 241-1310. Before we get to the phones, though, I would like to... here it is, the first of a new month. I always say rabbit, rabbit.
Well, I think that's sort of interesting.
Okay. Years ago, somebody said if you say rabbit, rabbit, then don't say anything until somebody talks to you, then you're going to have a good month. So I got up this morning, said rabbit, rabbit, and it wasn't until I got coffee this morning somebody said, it's April 1st. I said, thank you. Now I can talk.
Exactly.
There is significance to April 1st, isn't there?
Well, I think there is, and I think one of the things that you have to do is kind of let your mind wander. And one of the things that I came up with today was the card in the tarot pack. It's the Fool. I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of small. This is the little pack that I travel with. But the idea of the Fool, he is the number naught. He is the beginning of beginnings. He's the circle. And on the card, you see a fellow that's setting off on a journey, and he's very cheerful, very optimistic. He has a little white flower in his hand and a staff over his back. The sun is shining. He has a little white dog barking at his heels. But he's teetering on the edge of a precipice. And I think the nature of April and the sign of Aries is that there is a certain amount of optimism. These people are always starting new projects. They want to, get people excited about things. It's a fiery sign. And generally kind of a lucky sign. But the problem is that there is always the fear that they may not complete the project. Not their fear, but everybody else's, because they're kind of fearless. And I think one of the things that connects to April Fools with this kind of imagery is the idea of what one does on April Fools. You play jokes on people. And Aries is the kind of sign that I think does kind of like to play jokes on people. What do kids do? They do things like TPing the trees,
What?
They take rolls of toilet paper and go through the woods and, make sure the trees are all wrapped up.
Go on, because I'm thinking, I've got to formulate my question here. I'm thinking of Halloween and April and October. The beginning, the end.
Well, the nature of all of these Earth holidays, so to speak, and really April 1st, I think, probably correlates to the vernal equinox, which is, what we just had. So it's an Earth-based idea. It's what is happening with the Earth and what is happening. There's stuff coming up out of the ground. It's new beginnings. There's, you look around in nature and you can just kind of feel the energy ready to burst out of it. The other things that kids do are saran wrapping the John. I've even known some adults to do that, actually.
Short sheet the beds.
Exactly, you got it.
Tear right through $200 sheets if you were Steven Spielberg. But this whole idea of April 1st, and you mentioned the tarot card, the Fool. And I guess there are a lot of people out there who wonder, if you call a psychic, and I assume do astrologers use tarot cards as much as so-called psychics?
Well, I think the way tarot cards work, it's a tool very much like what I do with the stars is a tool. And basically what you're doing is you're allowing your imagination and your intuition to wander by looking at the symbolism on the card. There isn't anything really too dangerous about this, the words magical, mystical, all of those kind of things, the connotation can be sometimes that people are a little fearful of these ideas, but that's because of the unknown. There's always a fear of the unknown. But the tarot card was originally, as much as we know, it came into being in the Middle Ages, about the time of the Crusades. And a lot of the images on the tarot pack relate to some of the things that the Crusaders, found in the Middle East when they were there. And what was so interesting about that time to me was that this was really the first time that the three major religions were kind of focused in one place, in the Holy Land, and Islam, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, were focused at that time. But there was a lot of influence from the Far East as well, with Buddhism and Lao say Chung or whatever.
What?
the study of the Tao.
The Taoists.
Taoists, yes.
Okay. Now, is there any significance to the fact that Passover, Good Friday, and Easter, yesterday you had Palm Sunday, Wednesday night begins Passover, Friday is Good Friday, then next Sunday is Easter Sunday. Any connection to
Oh, yes, it's all about this same idea. The thing is that each tradition has its own way of expressing itself, and I think that's really important. It's kind of like